Winterize it. Okay, we are winterizing a 2011 Winnebago Itasca Sunova, and what we're going to do is we're going to blow the air line, or blow the water out of the water lines. Yeah, we're going to blow the water lines out with air is what Papa was trying to say. And they say maximum 30 psi. So what I've done here is I put it at 30 at first, and then when I looked at my gauge, it was only about 20. So what I did is make sure that there's 30 at the line. I added this tire pressure gauge here, and you can see as I keep holding it down, it actually goes up to 30 psi. So I know I have 30 at the line now. So I can take that off. And all we do is just add it right here to our water for flushing, or where we add actually the city water. Actually, that's where the air goes in. What we're going to do is we're going to, you can hear it. And what we're going to do is we're going to let that drain for about 5 minutes. Timer. Come on, son. Yep. Now we're going to walk around, okay? Now also what I've done before I did this, before I actually added the air, and I'll walk around and I'll show you. You can see here, right on the inside underneath our bed is our drain valve, and I'll show you where that's at. But that's where you can see the water is all wet, or I mean the ground is all wet here, and that's where the water drained out. Yeah, it's very wet, right, sweetie? Very wet. Yeah. Okay, all right, we're gonna show you now. Walk around. Show you what we did on the other side. Let's go, sweetie. You gonna help Papa? Okay, come on. You can see here what we did too before we added the air is we actually drained our plug, opened up our plug for our hot water heater, and that's right here at the bottom. You can see it gurgling because the air is going out and it's purging all of the water out of the hot water heater. I always carry one of these wrenches. It's a 15/16 wrench. Yeah, the water's coming out here, sweetie. Yeah. And I always just leave that right in the compartment so I always know where it's at. Other thing you want to do is make sure that you take the ice maker hose and disconnect that, so in case there's any water left in your ice maker, you want that out too. And again, you can see it gurgling. That's the air pushing it out of the air lines. That's water. Okay, sweetie, I got to go on the inside now and show them what we did on the inside too, okay? Okay. You gonna stay out with Nana? You gonna stay with Nana? Okay, come on. You can come up with me. Come on. Up. Get easy. Okay. The other thing we did here is in our... What? No, the pump is not on.
No, I turn on up, but it runs more water when you do it.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to. You're supposed to leave the pump off. Anyway, this drain, we opened up the drain valve there. And the only other one in this version is in the showers. You can see the valve here is opened up so that we can drain that. You want to make sure that you have anything catching the excess water. And the last thing I'll show you is where we drain our water from. And it's right underneath the bed here. You can see that yellow handle there. Just make sure that that's in line with the hose, and that's open, and that means that all your valve is open. You want to drain that too. And that's pretty much it. All I got to do now is just wait for 5 minutes or so, make sure that it's all purged out. It's probably already done within the first minute or so. Okay, sweetie, you want to go outside? Okay, let Papa carry you. You ready? Watch your hand. Okay. And that's pretty much it. I said I'll let it just gurgle for a couple more minutes. Yeah, don't get wet, sweetie. And then that's pretty much it. You can see a little bit of the calcium deposit that comes out when you do flush, which is always also a good reason why to flush. Other than that, that's pretty much it. And then what we'll do is the only thing that's left after this The only thing that's left after we purge the water, we'll just close everything back up, and then we will add a cup of RV antifreeze down each trap. And that's the sink drain, the shower drain in the bathroom, and the bathroom sink down into that trap. So basically 3 traps within this model that you want to add to. And that's pretty much it. All right. Okay, now we're back to pouring the antifreeze. And again, this is RV safe antifreeze for recreational vehicles, watercraft, and so on and so forth. I got measured off here. This is 8 ounces. Measured that before time. Make sure you use something disposable, obviously. But what we're just going to do is I'm going to pour this down so it sits in the trap. This is our sink. Okay. I'm going to go into the bathroom. Do the same thing here. 8 ounces just into the sink. And another 8 ounces into the shower. Again, this model only has 3 traps in it, water traps. Oops. This one we want to be a little bit slower, a little less messy, because you can see we obviously use our shower more for storage than we do for taking showers. Again, today is a very nice day in November 2015, southern Wisconsin. Can't believe how warm it is, but makes it a lot nicer to winterize. So when we get ready to go down south for winter, it'll be nice. Okay, so those are the 3 traps. 1, 2, 3. We can now shut this. We won't turn that on, and we won't add water until we're down south, because I know the cold weather is only a matter of time up here. I'm going to close this. Okay, so we have the 3 traps set. Don't need this anymore. I just want to show you one other thing, what we did outside. Oh yeah, one other thing. Again, we won't turn the pumps on, we won't turn the water heater on, because we don't have any water at all anymore this summer. But what I do need for later is we can shut the water tank off now. You can see the valve is 90 degrees in there, so we can close that now so we don't forget and we fill up and just end up draining right out. Okay, then we're going to go outside. I'll show you a couple things out here. And again, do not turn your water back on, and don't turn your water heater back on. Okay, the only other thing I did out here now is I tightened this back up, the ice maker. I connected that again. I added some new Teflon down here to the drain plug. Put that back in place. I'll just close that up in a little bit. Again, like I said, I always leave this right here. It's a 15/16 wrench. That's the way I know where it's at. It's just an extra one. And then again, when we go to the other side, at the sewage, I just want to show you, this is, I just left this here, though this was, again, turned into the freshwater inlet. And I made this up, I seen this online. You just add a female, I think it's a 1/4 inch nipple inlet, and then you add that to, they sell these plugs in the hardware store. So this will screw right into your water line, and then the nipple screws right into this thing. And that's real handy, because that way you don't have to hold it. Now you can sit here and just hold it up against, they make the conventional ones where you can just hold it up in there, like you can see right here. But who wants to do that for 5-10 minutes? So I just figure make one of these up. It's a lot easier. And that's pretty much it. Now we're pretty much winterized, and again, we won't use water again until we end up down south where we know it's not going to freeze anymore. We'll be taking off in November 16th in a couple weeks, and I'm sure you could easily get below freezing before we end up taking off. So that's pretty much the winterization we do. Now there's another one where you can actually do it, and it's where the water shut off line underneath the bed is. There's actually a siphon hose in there too, and what you can do is you can actually suck that RV antifreeze, and I think it takes about a gallon or two, up into the lines where it completely fills all the lines up. So that's another way of winterizing. It's a little bit more extensive. We did that the first year because we bought our RV in October. We didn't take off until the next year, so it stayed all one winter outside. So we actually filled the lines up with RV. But now for this thing, the way that we do it now, we're just going to we've always just done the air flushing. So we air flush it, and then we put the antifreeze in the traps, and that's pretty much it. That is another accepted method of winterization. So hopefully this helps you if you have again, even if you don't have a Winnebago like ours. The systems are very similar in a lot of RVs, and there's not a whole lot to it. Really about 5 or 10 minutes work and you can have it winterized. All right, thanks. The nice thing about doing videos and reviewing them is you realize sometimes what you forgot. It's very important. One last thing in winterizing is that you remove all water filters that you have. And we do have one under the sink right here. And take it from me, it looks just like this. But just unscrew that. And make sure that, and what I did is I just tipped it upside down in a cup and just shook it out, and that usually makes all the water come out of it if you're going to reuse it. But make sure that you do remove that, because we did make the mistake one year of not doing that. Water was in there, it was frozen, it broke, and the first time I went to turn the water on, my wife started yelling that we had a water leak somewhere, and that's where it was. So make sure you do that.